Hey, how's it going? And I just did a tutorial on putting decals on objects, and what I neglected to mention, and so I wanted to do this video, was that was really for putting decals on stationary objects. If you want to put decals on movable objects, you have to do a little different procedure. So here's what we have right here, is if I just hit play, you see that's a decal, and you see it's moving with the object. It's essentially parented to the object. But unfortunately, you can't just do it like you'd think you'd be able to do it like parenting over here. You have to use a decal component, and that's what we're going to do today. This won't take very long at all. So let's just come in here and do a new project. Maybe 5 minutes of your time. I know you're all very busy. I know time seems to be flying for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I just can't believe it's 2023. Okay, so to do this, we're going to create a blueprint. And before I do that, just refer to that other video if you have any questions about this part of it, but we're going to need a decal. So this is just a PNG file that was created in Photoshop. This one just says the kitchen, and I'll drag it onto the scene like that. So this is a little bit of the other tutorial. So what we have to do is just right click, create a material, and then just jump in here real fast. And then we just, while this is selected on material, we're just going to put this to deferred decal, and then we're going to change this to translucent, and then all we have to do is put alpha into opacity, and that's it. You can watch another tutorial if you want to see some other things, but we've just created a new decal material here. So that's done, and literally that's so easy it's not even funny. Okay, so now we're going to come right click, and we're going to go into blueprint actor. We're going to double click on this. It doesn't matter what it's called. We're just going to go ahead and get a cube, and put it on the scene like that. And this, in my case, could be the door. I hate that color, so I'm just going to make it default. In fact, there's another color I like better than that, but it's called burnished material. I really like this one. This is a real nice material here. Okay, so now when we come up here is we go to components, add, and search for decal. And there it is right there. And it becomes a child of the cube. And notice what it's doing right now. It's hard to appreciate what it's doing. Is it's projecting along, it looks like, the x-axis, and we're looking at this. If I hit alt and click on the object, that's why it looks like that, is because it's projecting all the way through. Oops, I moved it. I wanted the cube. And so you can see that's what it's doing. It's projecting along the x-axis. So let's go ahead, and actually what I got to do is, if I'm on the decal, now I can go and get that one we just created, and I believe it was called, I don't even remember what it's called now, kitchen material. Okay, so we got to go back into here. I'm glitching out a little bit here. This one. So it's called kitchen. So we go back in the viewport here. We'll click on the decal, and it was called kitchen. That was my fault for not naming it kitchen. There it is. Okay. And now you'll see, we can see it, and this is the part that can be a little confusing, is I'm on the decal actually right now. I can see it projecting through, and it looks like it's projecting down the X here. But as you can see, if I move it, I can actually move it. You can see I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's weird. It's projecting on the other side of the X. So I don't know if you can see this, but let me hit Alt and spin around. See? It's projecting toward the back, coming from the back along the X-axis. So it's weird. It's coming from like the negative to the positive along the X. So what we can see is that we have to adjust our orientation here, our rotation of the object. So can I switch my gizmo here? Okay, so this is the one we want. So obviously, looking at this, we're going to have to go 90 on the X there, and then it looks like that puts it on the right orientation. And now it looks like on the blue and the green here, we got to resize. So I can just hit 0.25 for the, what is that, the Y, and oh no, I'm on the cube. I didn't mean to do that. So this is one. Okay, make sure I'm on the decal. Sorry about that. So it looks like I got to go 0.25 and, well, maybe not that low, maybe 0.5. I guess what I'm saying is you got to get in here and play with these values as far as matching it up. And it looks like, no, it looks like I got to come down even farther. So 0.25 and 0.25. The great thing is that once you get this set up, now can I zoom in here? Whoops. There we go. Okay, now I can just reposition it up. And there we go. And that's all we got to do. And now this is parented to our object. So if we were to compile and save, and I just come in here to drag this onto the scene. Let's come down and take a look at it. It's just going to come through on one side. It's a weird, excuse me, there we go. There we go. The kitchen. And of course it's going to project through like a normal, you know, the normal trickiness of those decals, how they are. You can play with them and stuff like that. But the good news is that is stuck on that object. So anyway, thank you for sticking with me and subscribing, and I will talk to you next time.